Mary meet Aquarius, Aquarius sun sign, rising sign, and or moon sign. This is a 2-week reading for all you Aquarius, starting today, the 21st of July, 2023. And we are streaming live on YouTube and on Twitch. Moderating on YouTube is the lovely Jennifer, and moderating on Twitch is the lovely Shirley. Thank you so much, Jennifer, and thank you, Shirley, and thank you, Aquarius, and friends of Aquarius, for joining us today. If you happen to be watching on a restream on YouTube, you can fast forward through all the shuffling I'm going to do if you don't want to watch it and listen to me blab. There's timestamps right in the video description. All right, this is a Tarot de Marsella from Spain, and I don't know where I can find that. I found that in a shop ages ago, and I haven't been able to find that, but I found a deck that's very similar, and I put it in the video description of this video on YouTube, should you want to buy one. Let's see, this is Agua de Colonia Concentrada by Alvarez Gomez, also from Spain. Gorgeous traditional eau de cologne with a very decidedly Spanish twist to it. I've already used that to purify this space. You can find the links for purchasing both of those things in the video description of this video. So, what was I going to say? Oh yeah, I'm shuffling here. I don't read with card reversals, so that means that you're going to see me flipping cards right side up, and that's just how I like to read. Nothing wrong with it. It's a very valid way of reading. If you're watching us on YouTube, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. If you happen to be watching on Twitch, make sure you follow us on Twitch, and you can watch on Twitch without any ads by subscribing to us on Twitch. You can see that I have listed a bunch of URLs on your screen. Those are for our PayPal portal, should you want to donate to us. Donate to us. Let's get those words back, Ariel. If you want to donate to us, you can use the PayPal portal. Or also we have the link to our website where you can find all of our stuff that we have. Everything's free of charge over there. And also our shop, where we get a small commission off of each and every sale. So we appreciate your support, but mostly we appreciate you being here today. So I'm gonna shuffle a couple more times. Don't worry if you see me flipping cards right side up. I don't know if I told you that, but I don't read with card reversals. I think I already told you that, but my brain today is a little bit still in bed, so I'm sorry if I repeated myself. All right, I feel good though. I just feel like I'm still in bed. We've got Aquarius, the King of Swords. Then we've got the 10 of Cups. And then we've got the 5 of Coins. Oy vey. What the heck? Aquarius, what's wrong here? We're gonna open this up. In fact, I'm gonna start with the opening up while I chat. But it just seems like no matter how good things are, you seem to find a way to not appreciate it, or to find what's wrong. You know what I mean? I think it's that analytical nature of you. It's just like, well, it can't be good. What's so good about it? You know, and then you get to prove yourself right that it's not so good, and then you feel vindicated that you are correct. But see, you want to get to the point, Aquarius, where you're wrong. You want to feel good about being wrong. If you can feel good about being wrong about the way things are, then you're opening your mind up to the idea that it could possibly be at least as smart as you are, if not smarter, in the universe. I almost lost my camera completely here, sorry. That there's something at least as smart as you are in the universe that might know better than you. And that power might actually be able to give you all of your heart's desires, which is what this is talking about. It's saying, well, the universe wants you to have a happily ever after, but you seem to be cynical about that. So, having problems is fine too, if that's what you prefer. It sounds weird when we say it like that, but it's the truth. The universe wants you to be happy. But when the universe presents happiness for you, you tend to look at it with cynical eyes. And when you look at it with cynical eyes, then you get how you see it. That's the power of projection. That's what we have. That's our superpower as human beings. Everything that we experience in this world is a type of projection. And so if you aren't willing to say, I want to be wrong about my ideas about the world, and therefore allow a higher power to show me a new vision of it, then I'm just going to keep projecting the same old projections. And then I am right. I get to be right over and over and over again. Aren't you bored? Right? So let's listen to that still small voice within us today. Let's recognize that there is a vertical ascent that wants to happen. That's this 10 of Cups. And this wants to be perpetuated. This doesn't want to be just like, okay, good, one event, and then we go into another problem. And then, okay, then more problems, and then one event that's a little reprieve, and then we go into more problems. This happily ever after wants to be a way of life, but the only way it can be is if you are willing to relinquish your ideas about the way your life looks. So this is that 7 of coins on top of the King of Swords saying what you need is an entire turnaround. You need a complete upgrade in the way that you're using your mind. Utter upgrade in the way that you're using your mind. This Strength card is saying you're afraid that if you really look at yourself, you're going to recoil in horror. So it's much easier for you to just maintain your cynical attitude so that you don't have to look at the horrible truth about who you really are. And then when you even probably don't verbalize that or don't want to look at that, because if you did, you would be greeted with resounding laughter by all the celestial realms, because they know if you were to see the truth about yourself, you would be absolutely delighted. Absolutely delighted. All the stuff that you're afraid of about yourself, all of the stories that you tell about yourself in the world, all of that stuff is not true. The only truth about you is how amazing you are. And it's going to take you, Aquarius, some courage to be willing to look at that. And I know that sounds insane, that it's like, okay, it doesn't take any courage to look at the scary stuff, but it takes a lot of courage for you to look at the good stuff. It's true, because it threatens your whole self-perception. You don't want to believe that you're that amazing. You don't want to know how utterly delightful you are, how powerful you are, and how you are a force of good in this world to be reckoned with. That the world would be missing something so essential that we couldn't exist the way we do if you weren't here. And I'm not saying here in body. I'm just saying here, period. So it's been that way since the beginning of time. You're that ancient. As a soul, you're that ancient. And you've always been essential. And you've never been something that we could miss. But see, that's too big for you to look at. You want to look at yourself as this small, fragmented little ego, that's got these problems, and there must be something wrong with me. So I'm just going to distract myself by using my cynical outlook to see things in a, quote, realistic way. And even those of you that are involved in occultism and New Age or whatever the spiritual world is, you're still looking at things cynically. You're using those as an excuse to keep your cynicism in check. Why? Because it's a security blanket. Because then you don't have to look at yourself. Because you're really afraid if you saw yourself, you would recoil in horror at how horrible you are. That's your biggest fear. So you just play these games with yourself and with the world to sort of try to make everything, distract yourself from ever having to look at the truth about yourself. But if you try it, if you really look at yourself, you're going to be so delighted at how amazing you are. And all of this other stuff is just going to fall away. It's just going to fall away. And you're never going to have to think of it again, because you'll know the truth, and the truth will set you free. So spend some time this next couple weeks and really look at who you are, not who your ego is trying to tell you are, not the problems in your life, not the fears that you have about the future, but who you are. Who is the essence of Aquarius? I'll tell you, it's a never-ending fount of gloriousness. a never-ending fount of glory. That's who you are. You are beloved by infinite intelligence. Beloved. And now it's time for you to see that and not act like that's not there. 4. So it's telling you what to do about yourself. How does Aquarius deal with? You see, you're very smart. You're very smart, and that's a wonderful thing, and it's also an awful thing. Because since you're smart, you're used to being right. But you're not right about certain things about yourself. The decisions that you've made about yourself are inaccurate. Anything that you believe about yourself that does not line up with the soul's vision of who you are is inaccurate. And you have been and you will continue, if you don't change your ways, to behave in a way to reinforce your beliefs about yourself rather than the truth about yourself. And that's why this turnaround is so important. So what you are being called on to do is go into different arenas than what feel comfortable to you. You are being called on to beautify your environment, to beautify your person, to find harmony and peace in all of your surroundings and in your own appearance, your physical appearance, and to allow that to be a catalyst for that Venusian or that Venus energy to come in. Because what is Venus on the tree of life? Victory. And you deserve victory over these misperceptions about yourself that you've been carrying around for your whole life. And there were times in your childhood where that served you probably, or at least it made you feel safer to have certain ideas about yourself. But then those ideas need to be let go of. It's like an old blankie or a pacifier. Those old childish beliefs about yourself have to be let go. And where you want to be right now is in a constant state of disengagement from your ego. This is disengaged from conflict. You've got to work, so your ego will just throw up stuff to you. Look at this problem. Look at this problem. Look at this problem. You better get busy. Ugh, you're not good enough. If you were good enough, this wouldn't have happened. Those kinds of things. And so you just get busy, like a little slave to your ego, getting busy doing stuff that the ego knows darn well that you're not going to be successful at. And then you can be right about how you have every reason to be cynical. Instead, when you get that feeling of like, I better get busy, I better work on fixing things, it's saying stop, disengage, stop fixing things. There's nothing for you to fix. You're not broken. There's nothing wrong with you, except for the idea that there's something wrong with you. And it doesn't, see, the thing is if you start being all ingenious with yourself about how wrong you are, you can make it seem like you're not saying that. You can make it seem like you're trying to help yourself. But don't be fooled by your ego. Don't be fooled. You'll know by how you feel, not by the words that come out of your mouth. How do you feel? Do you feel peaceful or do you feel tense? Are you afraid or do you feel certain? Are you feeling prosperous or are you feeling poor? Are you afraid of the future or do you know the future is your friend? Those are the indicators about which voice you're listening to. So the voice that you want to start listening to is the voice of your soul. The voice of your soul is the one that's saying, come look at yourself. Come look at yourself. Disengage with those other feelings. Come and look at yourself. Come and look at Aquarius, at how glorious you are, and how you are connected to an infinite fount of prosperity, wisdom, joy, peace, life, health. And that's who you are. And all this story about you and the story about Aquarius that you've been dealing with all this time, it's time for that to be turned around. So this is why that invocation to Venus is so important. Get busy making things pretty. I know that sounds like, well, what does that have to do with anything? It invokes Venus, and Venus is the victory here. Venus is bringing you to victory. So go out of your way over these next couple weeks to, how can I beautify my environment? How can I beautify my person? How can I make things pretty and aesthetically pleasing to my eye? When you do that, that's simply just a calling on a force, and that force is the force of Venus, the Archangel Anael, and she is the force of victory, and she's going to bring you through all of this to allow you to only see the truth about yourself. And that truth about yourself is there's nothing to fix, Aquarius. There's nothing to fix about you. You are perfect the way you are. But your behavior doesn't always reflect that, because your behavior is not coming from the truth. Your behavior is coming from the lie. All right? So disengage with that ego, get busy making things pretty, and look at yourself and know that you are perfect the way you were created. And there's nothing you need to change. There's nothing you need to change about yourself except for the way you're perceiving yourself. And that's going to happen all by itself. All right, this is good. We'll see you in a couple weeks. Thank you so much to the amazing moderators, Jennifer and Shirley. We'll see you in 2 weeks, Aquarius. Blessed be.